Hey, what is up, humans? It's your favorite demon, Raze Silva, and we are back with another reaction video, sort of, kind of, I guess. Um, so today I wanted to uh, I, I had to get the queen. I had to get the queen in here somehow. Okay, so uh, we have a Mori Calliope video by Rima Evenstar. I'm hoping I said that right. I always struggle. I always tend to struggle with the last names sometimes, but this is Rima, who I actually found relatively recently. So yeah, but ironically, this video right here is the one I found and was like, oh, okay. So, but she's got a bunch of these, and honestly, uh, if the rest of these are as good as this one was, then I think it's kind of a crime that she's only sitting at 50K. Just throwing that out there. Anyway, link for this video will obviously be in the description, as it always is, and we're gonna get into it because this video is 36 minutes. Just about is 10 seconds off from being 36 minutes, which means this is gonna be a long one, everybody, because you know how I love to pause. Anyway,
this thing you have with Trash Taste, you like them, or you're like friends with Connor. It's not.
I know that voice. So, Hirohie. Oh, we got some Genshin here. So Hirohie, he is universally, I think, despised on Twitter, which good for him, because you know it's Twitter. Nobody should care. uh, but actually is the reason I found Gura, because he made a video on that whole Brittany Venti BS back when Hollow Myth was starting. So it is because of Hirohie that I found Hololive. So blame him for he's ultimately the reason you have me.
Okay, Mori, you're not allowed to collab or like anyone unless we tell you it's okay. Don't you understand?
So you betrayed your friend.
No! Just be cool, guys. Like, is it...
Can I say that episode of Trash Taste was fantastic? Also, Callie and Jump King, yes.
that hard to just be cool?
Hey Beats, it's Mori Calliope. What's up? Just so you know, I have just announced that in December I'll be releasing a full album. Check it out, Joe!
That I own. I think I have.
When we think of a VTuber, we
I think I have all of Callie's album. I have her album, and I have her concert, and then I have, I think, all but her first EP. Yeah. If it wasn't obvious from from me reacting to her birthday concert, I like Callie.
picture someone that can sing, dance, and entertain a crowd, we think of a performer. The highest self of a virtual idol is someone who could perform all of these tasks with ease. Basically an idol who's also an anime waifu. And for the Western fans, Mori Calliope embodies all of these elements. She's talent and
I wouldn't call Callie. I love Callie. She's my favorite. She's my Oshi. You know, I would not call Callie an idol. A performer, 100%.
incarnated.
Hello, I'm Mori Calliope from Hololive English Myth, and welcome to the Underworld!
And while all of the Hololive idols are full of talents, one could argue
Yes.
that Mori just checks all of those boxes.
I can only do so much, like play a recorder, scream a little bit, write raps about bread, and be okay at music, and read mangas about dads who are VTubers, and drink a lot of wine, and be bad at video games.
She's a professional entertainer, she's been dubbed a household name, she's a singer, a lyricist, but most importantly, she's a brand. But what if you've got everything you've ever wanted?
I will say, I do think that Callie's singing has vastly improved to the point where I actually feel like she's a much better singer than she is a rapper at this point. My very humble opinion. Don't come at me, please.
Wanted, but still weren't happy. What if the price of success came at a cost? In the case of Mori Calliope, she holds the distinction of being the first Hololive English VTuber who signed a major record deal with Universal Music, achieving over 2 million subscribers on YouTube and releasing 2 full albums under her belt. She undeniably set an exceptionally high standard for corporate VTubing, and her success may as well serve as a pioneering example for future VTubers aspiring to blend mainstream media with the VTubing world. However, Mori's journey has been marked by numerous challenges, controversies,
and now has an anime ED, which is sick for Suicide Squad. Callie has done a lot of stuff. Also, like this whole trash taste episode is still to this day one of my favorite ones.
and moments of sorrow. It pains me to say, but it must also be acknowledged that Mori has garnered a significant amount of detractors over the years, making her one of the most polarizing VTubers out there. And while it is customary for public figures with a substantial following to have their share of critics, Mori seems to have an unusually high number of fervent antis, almost resembling a cult-like following dedicated to making her life difficult at every turn. In this VTuber deep dive will cover everything from the good to the bad so we can understand the root of the controversies and determine if
I forgot she also did the opening for One Piece. So yeah, she's done an OP and an ED. I forgot about the One Piece thing. How could I have forgotten that?
Found it or just nothing burgers. So buckle up because there is a lot to unpack.
I will say they are all nothing burgers.
In the meantime,
Later.
make sure to subscribe for more VTuber documentaries and commentaries. 95% of you still aren't subscribed to my channel, so seriously, what are you waiting for? And if you want to support the channel
I'm
and
subscribed.
have your name
I hit the
displayed at
subscribe
the
button.
end of my video, you can join my memberships for as little as $2.99.
I'm sorry, I
As
can't
for
do
a little
that.
disclaimer regarding Mori's alter ego, although it is no secret, and Mori herself has mentioned that she doesn't mind us talking about her past.
Everybody knows who Callie is. If you somehow don't know who Callie is, I don't know what to tell you. You have somehow done the impossible. Because honestly, everybody, the ones who knew who she was, instantly found her, figured out who she was because she has. Callie has a very unique voice. Like, there is no hiding who she is. So if you've somehow managed to not learn who Callie is, you have somehow dodged the most widely known secret, quote unquote, that there is.
Past life, I would rather take extra precautions, and I won't explicitly show her alter ego or refer to it by name in this video. Anyway, if you know, you know. And if you think I'm playing it too safe, leave a comment below. Now, back to the video. To understand the public perception of Mori Calliope, we gotta go back, way back to her pre-Hololive era. You see, before Hololive, Mori was an underground rapper. Born in Texas, she moved to Japan to pursue her dreams of becoming a music artist and rapper.
I was saving up big, deadbeats, because I wanted to go to the surface world. I wanted to go to Overworldian Japan, okay? I had a special box, and I put on front of the box, I put a picture of all of the bands that I wanted to see perform live.
While abroad, she created a few close bonds with peers, friends, and other members of the music community and performed together in underground bars and venues. To Mori's own admittance, back then, she didn't have a very high opinion of the idol culture.
How do you view yourself as like a public figure?
To be honest, I'm still trying to figure it out. Because it happened about a month ago, right?
Right.
I suppose all that I can say is, before all of this, when I was just doing underground things in the underworld rap scene.
Yeah, I forget exactly when she hit the 500K, but like she hit it. I think she might have been already over 500K by the time that this episode of Trash Taste happened. I don't fully remember. It was a while ago. But yeah, so she used to not really like idols, which is what the big thing that the hate group that doesn't like Callie really latch on to, and it's really dumb. It's a nothing burger, like what everything that they're like, oh, she does this, she does that, oh, this is how she really is. It's like it's dumb.
I kind of like stuck up my nose a bit at idols, I suppose. I had this
Yeah.
attitude of there's this whole industry built around like worshiping these people that are supposed to be more than human
Can't
when they're
imagine.
not. I really kind of stuck up my nose like, well, I'm so much better than them. I'm no idol. I'm not an idol rapper. I'm an underground rapper, and that
Yeah.
kind of thing. One Vtuber.
Every mentality that's a normal mentality. It's like, you know, literally, I'm just as good as you know, everybody who thinks that they're in like the underground type scene has that mentality of I'm better. That is not solely, that's not just a Cali thing. That is literally everybody. I promise you.
That kind of changed my mind about idols. Her name is Milky Queen. She's like a rice themed VTuber. She speaks fluent English and Japanese. We kind of became friends, and she really changed my mind about idols because she's so down to earth, kind, and an incredible singer and talented. I kind of had these ideas about what idols were really like, but I realized watching her stuff, she works so hard and she's talented and kind and humble, and other idols can be like that too. Whoa, no way. No wonder so many people like them. And then I realized I was being a jealous little hoe, and now it's fine. So it's no problem. I've just kind of rode into the whole idol thing like with a lot of respect for my fellow idols and all the hard work that they're doing, and my mind completely changed, which is something doesn't happen often.
Just like probably many of us, she criticized some aspects of it. And it's during that era that most of her actions and words would come back to haunt her later on in her VTubing career under the character Mori Calliope. So back then, as a standalone artist, Mori Calliope, while not being under that name, made quite successful music with some videos that she produced herself, racking up to millions of views. Her talent is undeniable, and I can only commend the amount of work she poured into her craft. In some,
I will say, like, Cover went out of their way, I think, to look for individuals who were already like in the realm of success, just to ensure that their EN branch could be a thing. Like, which is more than I can say for other companies currently.
videos, she would rap, write the lyrics, animate, and even put the mix together herself. But in late 2019, most of the world was blissfully living their lives and enjoying their last few moments in the sun while a global pandemic was brewing. And while Mori and her peers, friends, and mentors from the scene were still performing in bars and creating music together, once the pandemic hit, it ruined everybody's plans, and all of those venues in which they were performing and making a buck off closed, which caused this particular group of friends to have to reassess some of their dreams, and some of them had to pack their bags and go home or simply stop making music. Mori, on the other hand, had to find a new way to generate income if she wanted to stay abroad, and that's when one of her friends who was in the VTubing space suggested that she should audition for Hololive.
I had some other Reaper mates who also were looking into the Hololive thing and were talking about it, and I just I listened in and I was like, oh, okay, sounds interesting. I'm getting sick of swinging my scythe around all the time. What's interesting though is that I kind of didn't say anything when I auditioned to those friends. I was just kind of I'll just give it a shot, because I didn't think I was going to get in. I thought that they had way better chances than me, and so I was like, well, okay, I'll just do it for shits and giggles, right? Just for fun. About midway through, before we even heard anything, before things even got moving, I got real guilty. So I told my friends, I said, hey, listen, look, I went ahead and I auditioned for the thing that you guys did, yes, just so you know. I'm not trying to be slimy or anything. Before things start popping off, right? Just letting you know what's up. And it was all cool.
And that's when the magic ensued. But while Mori undeniably found success there, many of her former friends saw her as selling out and trading the integrity of her art for success and leaving them behind, which seemed to be something that Mori would struggle to come to terms with for the rest of her career.
Friends that I had made from those times, they kind of stopped doing music.
Everybody in the indie scene who can't seem to get their foot in the door, she got her foot in the door, they got mad at it. Is essentially what happened. And that is in no way her fault at all. She managed to get in. I
guess I just wanted some of them to be proud of me.
Mori Calliope debuted on September 12, 2020,
Smoke Coon.
along with 4 other VTubers who formed the first generation of Hololive English: Gargura, Ninomai Nanis, Takanashi Kiara, and Watson Amelia. They were collectively known as Myth, and each of them had a mythical team for their character design. Mori Calliope's team was the Grim Reaper, and she claimed to be the first apprentice of Death who decided to become a VTuber to harvest souls. Mori's debut stream was a huge success, attracting over 100,000 viewers and gaining over 200,000 subscribers in less than a day. She introduced herself as a rapper who loves hip-hop and metal music and performed her original song, Excuse My Rudeness, but
which I will say is the song everybody seems to start with, and while I get it's her first song, it's her worst song. Like I'm sorry, it was bad. It was bad. And honestly, it was because like she was like quote unquote a rapper. I automatically assumed that she was going to be my least favorite. That was turned around very quickly.
Could You Please RIP for the first time, which quickly became viral. She also showed off her fluent Japanese skills as she was living in Japan at the time. Her first single and several other songs were later collected into an EP album titled Deadbeats that was released on October 2020, and a few months later, in January 2021, she would reach 1 million subscribers on her channel and release her second album, Your Mori. There are many reasons why Mori was enjoyed by VTuber fans. Her outspoken and honest attitude, and my personal
I so
favorite,
wanted
the
that
chemistry
PC
and
case.
tenderness she showcased with her genmate Kiara during their duo streams. But what really cemented her success was her music. She was the first Hololive member to release original songs on a regular basis, and she collaborated with many other.
I would argue that actually Watame and Suse were already doing that. It's just that Callie did it much more frequently.
VTubers and musicians, expanding her reach beyond the VTuber sphere. And as we'll see later in the video, this would end up becoming a double-edged sword. But still, Mori pushed through, and by the end of 2022, her music career had reached new heights when she signed with Universal Music Japan and MEI Records, making her major label debut.
Which was awesome.
She released her first EP under the label titled Shinigami Note, and another notable milestone is when she held her first solo concert on July 21st at Toyosu Pit in Tokyo, which was streamed online for fans around the world. However,
it was just fun.
Calliope's fame also came with a price. She was involved in several controversies and dramas that tested her reputation and fan base. Mori, over the years, had developed a sizable base of antis, especially on platforms such as Twitter, 4chan, and Reddit, where all the mentally stable people hang out. One of the strongest opinion her antis hold is that Callie is a grifter. Like I mentioned earlier, this dates back to events way before she even started in Hololive, when she mentioned her criticism of the idol industry and VTuber corpos. One of the earliest controversies that Mori Calliope faced was when she collaborated with CDogVA, aka Connor, a British YouTuber who was part of the Trash Taste podcast. Connor had previously made some negative comments about Hololive VTubers on his stream with Iron Mouse, implying that they were not talented or original.
Something like,
which is not what he said. What he was pointing out was, and he wasn't wrong, Connor was not wrong at all in what he said, because the whole conversation, what he was saying was, you can join a corporate VTuber agency like Hololive and have instant success. That is 100% true.
Like Hololive is a good example of this because it's almost instant success. You don't have to be a good streamer. You will get success because you're part of Hololive. You'll get a lot more money than most people will see it in their lifetime monthly, right? We agree on that. Is that fair to say?
Yes. That is a 100% fact. Now, I will add that it is up to the streamer to keep that audience. Hololive will get you that initial audience because it's Hololive. You know, they're successful, and therefore people will have expectations for, oh, this company is vouching for these people. Okay, I'll check them out. That'll get you the initial boost, which will instantly be far more than they've probably ever seen. But it is up to them to actually hold that audience and keep it going. So he's not wrong in what he's saying, but it still pissed a lot of people off because I don't know why. It was really dumb.
I think we should change the subject.
Okay, point being is that once you get the job, it doesn't matter what you said on the application, right? Because you just have to perform.
It's good to note that he has since then retracted this statement and apologized for these comments.
He personally apologized to me and actually every single member of EN and explained the situation to me. And I said, it's fine. Look, just, like, be careful in the future. Like, kind of watch the way you say things. Can be taken out of context, etc.
Funnily enough, this clip was taken out of context from a whole stream where Connor was talking about lying on job applications. So he basically
My point exactly. Like,
was saying that people should lie on their resume, and once you get your foot in the door, you're already essentially made.
Everybody does this. Everybody embellishes the absolute hell out of their resume. If you say you don't, you're lying. Because you are trying to do your best to get this job that probably some other people are trying to get, and you really need the job. Nobody is fully honest on a resume. Now, you don't outright lie, and then when you get in, if you get in, like, you can't actually do the job. Like, don't do that. But you embellish, like, just enough, like, within, like, your actual skill limit.
According to some research, it is true that lying on your resume has been a trend over the past few years, especially when applicants are trying to fill employment gaps.
Few years. Try forever.
You can't be as bad as Connor. They hate his f***ing guts. Everything he says. They're like, oh, well, he doesn't understand shit about VTubers. How dare he speak about VTubers?
And while it is true that debuting with Hololive sets you up for a wild success, the work that has to be done before you audition and during your tenure at Hololive is crucial. And I am sure Connor is intelligent enough to understand the nuances of this statement. But when Mori Calliope defended him on her stream after receiving a super chat about it, some fans accused her of lying or covering up for him.
I enjoyed your JoJo space earlier, although you should shy away from acknowledging people who've only spoken negatively about Hololive talents on stream like Connor. Oh geez, here we go again. I would not have read this out loud if I had read it beforehand, but he gave me the full context and I watched the full clip. I had a long conversation with Connor about this because we are friends, actually. We speak to each other quite a bit as friends. Don't tell me who I can be friends with and who I can and can't acknowledge on my stream.
This controversy escalated when Mori
Which was based.
Calliope gifted 50 subs to Connor's stream.
Oh shit, Mori Calliope.
Oh yeah,
gave
when
some
she,
subs.
no
way, Mori.
when he
Thank
beat
you.
Jump King.
Some fans felt betrayed or disappointed by Mori Calliope's actions, and one of them even sent her a super chat of $250 with the message "Condom money for Connor." This made it so Mori would not read all of her super chats anymore.
New rule in super chats, guys. I won't be reading all akaspas, depending on my discretion. Some pretty high-level super chats have been utilized to send some pretty like nasty things recently. If you do choose to send super chat that perhaps ridicule or otherwise say rather distasteful things about not just people that I consider friends, but like other people in general, unrelated to me, I will take that money and I will go to their stream and I will give it to them.
Basically, those quote-unquote fans felt like Mori was
Which, again, based.
betraying her genmates by associating herself with somebody that shit-talked her friends. And then the flames of controversy were fueled
Which he
even
didn't,
further when she responded
you
to
know.
a tweet that depicted her in a sexual situation with Connor while her fans were watching. The tweet was meant
I
to be a
remember
joke
seeing.
based
I
on-
remember seeing that when it was posted, and I hadn't seen that anime, and I didn't know the context. I didn't know what was going on.
old meme format, but Mori Calliope replied to it sarcastically. She was obviously trolling, but some fans took offense to this reply as they felt that it was disrespectful or insensitive to her fan base. They also criticized her for engaging with trolls or haters instead of ignoring them, stating that a professional VTuber should ignore trolls. Her next mistake was responding on the Hololive subreddit in a moment of frustration by saying, "Can I please just have some fun?" Naturally, she received a large amount of downvotes because it's Reddit. She then caught some flack for a tweet she made about hitting the lean. For those who don't know, lean or scissor is a recreational drug prepared by mixing prescription cough or cold syrup containing codeine with a soft drink, and it is especially popular among the rap and hip-hop scene, to which she later clarified that she didn't mean to say lean, but she just meant that she was drinking. To those antis, this event contributed to reinforce their perception of Mori not wanting to fully integrate the VTuber lifestyle, to hold on to the rap and hip-hop scene by being rebellious and
I didn't even know what the hell it was.
drinking, or even worse, drinking lean. I'm not kidding, they're actually mad at her for drinking or talking about drinking too much in general. First of all, I'm going to keep calling the part of her fan base that are haters her antis, because it's really important to separate those fans from the rest of her fan base, who I believe are incredibly supportive of her.
Kudansu says, my first ever super chat. You're my favorite Hololive member. Best of luck. Am I really people's favorite?
After
Yes.
all, she's still one of the highest super chatted streamer. She still streamed to thousands of people and her music is widely enjoyed by many. And she's also one of the most watched female YouTube gaming streamers and still one of the highest super chatted streamers of the year. So why are Mori's antis judging her so harshly? Well, for one, she is not reserved. She is pretty brash and impulsive, outspoken as well, and kinda does whatever she wants. In a way, she is rebellious and has pushed back against what is classically expected from a VTuber, which is not to collab with, oh my god, real life flesh people or males in general. So
Which is such a fucking stupid thing. That's the idol unicorn shit that everybody doesn't like.
her purity is in question and her unwillingness to fully embrace the VTuber idol lifestyle. Again, that's not my opinion, I'm just stating what I'm seeing. 2, they harbor the feeling that she is unsafe for the other members of Hololive.
Yeah, let's do 5.
Okay.
Well, quick one. Just a quick match.
quickie.
No, you had to say it.
What? What does that mean?
Just don't worry about it.
Okay.
You know what you're doing, Iris.
No,
you
I
know
don't.
what you're doing.
Yeah, Virus.
I know it's slang.
Yeah, it is. It's when you do something real fast.
First and foremost, she threatens the Gachikoi relationship with their favorite Oshi because she collabs with men. And even worse so, she associates with people who dislike VTubers, so they consider her a traitor. And secondly, she threatens their purity by corrupting them. She is considered impure.
Bro, Iris was already I remember a lot of that stemmed from Iris at first when she was new, and I'm just like, bro, like Iris has always said offhanded shit.
Because of her drinking habit or drinking skit. For example, some blame her for corrupting Iris because she went to have tea with her. In those Gachi's minds, they're thinking, what if my OC starts participating in this harlot behavior? They're very protective of their waifus, but also just things or even franchises that Mori would come close to. For example, Kingdom Hearts, when Mori tweeted some lyrics from Simple and Clean. And then when she announced her One Piece collab, it catapulted Mori's antis into a frenzy, asking the
Oh,
VTuber not to touch their show like she's too icky for their favorite franchise. Funnily enough, the creator of the show, Oda, complimented Mori on the track she made for them.
Oda,
so clearly
based.
they weren't speaking for him. And then there was a small incident.
Even if
in
I'm not
which
a
some
One Piece
fans
fan.
have interpreted that Mori was putting Gura in unsafe situations. Essentially, the story.
That was so. I'm gonna curse. That was so fucking stupid. I remember watching that unfold in real time on Twitter, and I literally just wanted to scream, like, for them to fucking get out of their parents' basement and go fucking touch grass or something, because of how, like, unhinged and detached from reality that whole argument was.
Story goes that Mori and Gura were staying together during an IRL meetup, and Mori gave the keys to her Airbnb to her sister, who threw a large party for them that was still going on when they arrived to the place. The party ended up being much larger than anticipated, and she went on live to talk about what happened as she hid in her closet.
A certain family member happened to be in the area. So they were like, hey, so where are we staying? And I told them, and I was like, well, I'm not off the plane yet. Said family member was like, oh yeah, no, it's cool. We'll just let ourselves in and we'll be really careful. We're just gonna buy some snacks. It's definitely not just my family member and their significant other. In fact, there are people on the curb outside chilling with them alcohols. I roll up and I get out the car and I'm like, what is happening here? And family member says, Callie, it's been forever. The mistake that I made was giving them the code, because I thought, they were just gonna let themselves in and, just chill. But no, there was a rager going on, like full-on EDM blasting out the windows. I was like, yo, we're gonna get kicked out.
She mentioned that Gura was okay, but had locked the door to her room so she could get some sleep.
I think she's fine right now. I think that she's in a room close to me, away from where like the speakers do be bumping. So I think she's fine. She was just like, no, it's cool. I'm just gonna sleep. So she's sleeping.
She received an immense amount of backlash, blaming
Which
her
was-
for bringing ill-repute people.
Which was so fucking stupid. Like, all of this. Like, fucking. It's like they all collectively forgot all at once that Gura is a grown-ass adult.
Near their precious Gura. This event further cemented the opinion that she was, once again, an inconsiderate friend to her genmates. Along with those accusations came other critiques, some of them of her arriving late or being unprepared for collabs, sounding like she doesn't have a lot of energy, etc.
That's so sick. Do you have a little more energy left in you to dance to a rap that I wrote for you in 2 minutes?
And this is a wild guess, but maybe, just maybe, her having 2 full-fledged music careers and 2 full-time jobs might be the reason why she arrived.
Yeah, because she's not only doing like stuff for Hololive and as Callie, she's also still very much doing stuff as her alt persona. Like, she's still doing stuff for both of them. Plus, early on, she was also working 2 jobs on top of Hololive. It was it was amazing how she could function to begin with.
Arrived late to collabs. The thing is, Mori's aunties also seem to not know her at all. I've seen comments of her being lazy, not having done anything to earn her success. When she
Bro, if she's lazy, then I'm a vegetable. Like, I'm lazy. I can't. No.
She's clearly a hard worker. She's often talked about her work schedule, regularly looking something like waking up at 9 a.m. and working till 4 a.m. How she's managed to do it for so long, I have no idea.
I was up until 4 last night
Oh,
recording stuff.
no!
Mori has also been the subject of deep fakes, sexualizing her with horses.
Welcome to the stream, chat. I hope you guys are ready for today's marathon.
I still don't understand where the hell that came from.
Special guest, I've brought in my stallion.
The horse meme became so popular that they would spam it under every single one of her tweets and have become a popular meme by itself. She finally
glad that
embraced
went
the
away.
meme and even mentioned them during her cowboy outfit reveal stream.
Thank you very much for all of your lovely art. As well, some of it a little lewd. To those of you drawing me with horses, y'all are into some fucked up shit, and I hope you get I hope you get the help you need. From deep within this sheriff's heart, please get some help.
Unfortunately, she was not able to debut her horse model and instead had to reveal this shitty car for reasons that you can probably guess.
And because of you degenerate fucks, guess what we got? A car. How fucking boring is this?
Another huge point of contempt for Mori's aunties is her music. They immensely criticize her for being a white rapper. Some say she is culturally appropriating foreign cultures on top of having mediocre lyrics and mediocre music.
So this is where a lot of the Mori hate comes from, is her music. I'm going to say something very unpopular. This is a lot of certain people who are very pissed off that a white girl is successful in the genre that she is. And that is the extent of it. I said what I said.
Every time Mori releases
If you don't know what I'm saying, you can figure it out.
new song, Twitter is on fire again. One of the most vocal critics of Callie's music was a YouTube creator by the name of Brad Taste Music.
Who? This is an absolute buffoon. I did watch his music reaction breakdown, whatever you want to say it. He is so out of touch and has no idea what he's talking about that I've never been like actually angry to the point of yelling at my screen, but he did it.
Who has released not one, not two, but 3 videos of him reacting and reviewing Callie's music.
It's not very good, but then again, it's like this is disconnected white girl music.
And that's not even counting the videos he did on her alter ego. From what I gathered after watching a few of his videos on 1.5 speed because it was so hard to sit through, is that Brad really hates songs that he deems too polished or cheesy or corporate sounding. You see, Brad is a truly original artist that would never sink as low as to release a popular and polished song under a label that would be considered anything remotely superficial or mainstream. Brad is an artistic individual, an intellectual, and he would never write one silly rhyme. He seems to despise cute and cheesy lyrics, and honestly, I'm just not sure he's into the whole J-pop / J-rock or even K-pop vibes at all, which would explain his disdain in most of these songs that
What it boils down to is he doesn't like this genre. And which, if it was just that, it would be fine. But he actively is so ignorant about it that it makes me want to reach into the screen and slap him.
he's showcased on his channel. After all, taste is subjective, and those kinds of songs are often very overcharged and mix large amount of different music's aesthetics and genre. And Mori's music definitely does that a lot, but Brad really isn't into it. When he reviews songs,
which is
by
why it
Blackpink,
works.
the lyrics are too silly for him. And yet when he reviews Mori's music, he doesn't like
Eastern music is as good as it is because it combines so many different things to make something new. Whereas I don't know why, but I think somebody is taking a chainsaw to something outside my house. So if y'all hear that, I apologize. Why is that so damn loud? Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. So, I'm leaving that in. I don't care. But Eastern music will take several different things and combine it to make something different. And compared to Western artists who will throw out the same shit repeatedly. And and it's something that's been going on for a while now. Like I remember like for like say Disturbed, where everything from their Indestructible album on all sounds like the same song. Like, go ahead, listen to any Disturbed song from Indestructible onwards. I promise you, without looking at what the song is, I promise you, you will not be able to tell that it's not the same song from the first. Like, listen to one of those songs and then just pick a random one. I promise you, you won't be able to tell the difference.
Like how she takes herself.
You will never have that problem with Eastern songs.
Seriously, like, ew, why would you ever go 100% in your craft? After all, looking uninterested is the only cool way to live your life. And yeah, I should know because that's exactly how Brad portrays himself during his music reviews.
Look, I'm not a die-hard Mori fan, okay? I can't look past everything that sucks about this song to hear my queen speaking to me, okay?
On top of that, it seems Brad doesn't know anything really about the VTuber industry.
Everything about Mori is like she's just comes off as so fake. Like she's just playing up everything as much as possible because she's afraid that people are going to see her as someone who's like white and has nothing to say, because they have like this huge imposter syndrome, which it's like if you do, then maybe, you know, tone it back a bit, but you can't when you're doing something like this. When you're making this anime type shit, she must believe that everything has to be as overblown as possible or else she's going to lose the spotlight.
It is common knowledge that commission VTubers way in advance before finding a creator for it. And Brad seems to be using this as an excuse for spinning his own narrative and claims that Mori is unoriginal. And further proof of that is that she didn't have a say into designing her own character.
She didn't even design her model. She didn't have creative control over her own character. Yeah, no wonder her music sounds completely inauthentic. Jesus Christ.
Like, bruh. Even Brad Friend pushed back against the extremely subjective things that he says about her.
The Hololive members, their models are like designed by popular Japanese character designers.
Wow. Wait, that's actually terrible. That is the most like corporate whitewashed bullshit ever.
It's kind of just how it's common in like the VTuber industry altogether.
Okay, well that explains a lot actually. There are very few VTubers that design their own models. Yeah, but it explains a lot why their music sounds like it's the most like factory grown garbage, and why even at a more elevated.
Every time he opens his mouth, I have this strong urge to throat punch, because what?
Level like
sorry,
this song, it is completely unlistenable and in my opinion horrendous.
He seems to have the most surface level of some of the music concepts he has reviewed.
Doesn't even have a surface level. Doesn't have one iota of a surface level of what the word vomit that is coming out of this man's mouth.
You would think a critic would have a little bit of knowledge of some of the concept or even the subject that he's reviewing before giving it its opinion. But fear not. Brad is a quote-unquote musician, so he knows what he's talking about. He released an album in 2019
which is ironically all sounds the same, nothing is original.
None of the songs breaking over 10k views, and has also released a satirical EP in 2023, and aside from that I haven't seen anything or found any credentials that validate him as a music professional or music critic. I get the feeling that he is in a way jealous of Mori's success and believes that if he were in her place, he would be putting out better content, when clearly he doesn't. Unlike Knox Hill, an actual respected industry professional with over 1 million subscribers on YouTube.
Who is very talented. If you don't know who Knox Hill is, go check him out. Yes.
He has released multiple albums and has received positive feedbacks from fans and critics for his lyrical skills and storytelling and versatility. You see, Knox Hill also reacted to Callie's music and actually loved it. He actually tried to understand every single lyric and where they came from and really appreciated them. As a fellow artist, he understood the Easter eggs and even the Grim Reaper imagery she put in her videos for her audience.
All the metaphors that she's choosing, like the rhymes will slay you, murder connoisseurs, cute as all hell, like sending you to hell. She's super cute, and it sounded super cute at first. The beat still sounds super cute, but the lyricism is heavy. She is firing lyrical, murderous ammunition at us right now.
And even though he doesn't participate in her audience culture and barely knew anything about her lore, he still made that connection and appreciated how her audience would respond to it. It's funny because it's the very same thing Brad critiqued her for by saying that, on the contrary, she played too much into her character. Knox Hill also compliments her bar and rap skills, something.
See, and Callie, while there's a lot of her Reaper aesthetic and a lot of and her stuff, almost all of Callie's stuff is actually just her. It's like the person behind Callie. Which, if you took if Brad had taken 2 seconds to pull his head out of his own ass, he'd have seen that. But you know.
Most people would criticize her for.
Human erasure, can't stop the pacer, make sure. Again, there's some nice internal schemes, and she's coming through with this dotted, faster flow. I was not ready for her to attack this beat and drop in the way that she's doing it, man.
I find Brad to be a good case study and worth mentioning here because he truly reflects how antis of Mori think and behave. They easily dismiss someone's hard work by being very subjective and knowing very little about them, and they always do it in a way that's very pretentious. The problem with the internet is that untruths quickly can become the truth even when someone takes the time to debunk it. An outside observer reading all of these comments and tweets about Mori Calliope, I'm afraid, could easily reach the wrong conclusions. And this was the case when she collabed with a producer named Umru. When the song was announced,
which Death Sentence was, I think, probably one of the better tracks on
Mori's Twitter blog came
on that album.
Again. The random hate tweets surfaced again. Some V-tweeters claimed that she was a transphobe. Others claimed that she was a racist because of some lyrics from her song Snake Eyes.
And if okay, so Snake Eyes, by her previous persona, there is a single line that everybody clings to, and everybody's like, "See, she's racist." No, I will say that is a very angry, young, teenage Callie, because she was, I think, 17 when she released that song. And it is not racist at all.
And some old screenshots of her past life got digged up, and those screenshots were less than flattering. Basically, between that and the Twitter propaganda, the mob managed
And this guy got so buried that he disabled his shit.
To convince Umru, who ended up throwing Mori under the bus and apologized for collabing with her in a tweet. The antis felt bolstered because a public figure sided with them. Umru then proceeded to block her and denounce her further. I've looked to see if he released another statement, either retracting or apologizing for the misinformation, but I haven't found anything, and he still produces music to this day. And lastly, very recently, she said that part of Twitter again after covering the song Internet Yamero. As you guys can see with these very negative tweets, it really doesn't matter what Mori does, girl can't seem to catch a break. Unknowingly to the world, while Mori was facing a relentless barrage of insults, internally, she was also fighting her personal demons. She has been remarkably candid about her struggles, a theme that permeates her song lyrics. She grapples with the guilt of achieving success in the industry while some of her friends were left behind, forced to abandon their dreams.
I need to recommend this game to a friend of mine. This makes my heart very happy.
Yeah, it's nostalgic. All good.
The The road to success, accompanied by its unique challenges, has been far from smooth for Mori, and she has weathered numerous storms, often wrestling with profound sadness despite her privileged position, a situation many would covet, but also a situation that would make many unsympathetic to her. Surprisingly, despite all the fame and wealth, happiness remained elusive for her, and she's always felt like the villain in her story, scouring through hours and hours of some of the stuff.
And that's not on her, even though she does put it on herself. But that being said, I can't imagine how it would be to have a bunch of friends, you're all in the same thing, and then all of a sudden, you know, you're all trying to get that same goal, and then you get it, and then, but, you know, the rest of your friends are kind of left in the wayside. Like, that can't be easy for anybody. So, I mean, she's justified in feeling that way, but at the same time, like,
people are willing to write about her. It's
I
clear
feel
to
like
me
if that happened to like what if that happened to like one of my friends, or at least I would like to think that if you know, one of my friends found success into something that I couldn't, you know, I would like to think that I would be supportive and happy for them.
that some people have made it their whole life persona to be hostile and advocate hate and harassment towards Mori Calliope for whatever reasons. This particular group of people seem to have a perception of her that is, in my opinion, inaccurate and a stretch. I would like to debunk the very first claim and perhaps basis of her auntie's hatred. Mori doesn't care about her VTuber friends. The perception that she doesn't care about her friends in Hololive is ludicrous. Mori's a sensible girl, and she's demonstrated it many times live on stream, a place where it's kinda hard to fake your emotions because it's live. You can clearly see that Mori cares for her genmates. For example, just one example that comes to my mind off the top of my head is when she cried for Kiara's departure. And anybody watching this can see that it was genuine. And when she also got emotional watching Kiara perform on her birthday stream.
In that moment, my brain just flashed to like all the conversations that we've had about the hard things that we've dealt with being in Hololive, and like suddenly having.
I think out of everyone in EN, I think, or at least within Myth, I can't say for certain for all of EN because I feel like that's too much of a stretch. But I feel like out of Myth, Callie and Kiara like were kind of. I feel like they were sort of the underdogs coming in, almost. Because Kiara was kind of like, you know, in the mindset of, you know, this is kind of my last chance. This is gonna be it for me. And then Callie was just kind of, you know, kind of had her foot in the door, but also couldn't quite get in, you know. So she was kind of stuck at. Callie was kind of like in that weird limbo, in a way. So, I mean, it makes sense that both of them would kind of become like get as close as they did.
Having so many eyes on us and stuff like that, and like the tough things that we've had to like deal with and come to terms with, and seeing some of the unfair cards dealt to her and others, I just kind of thought about that for a second, and it just got me really emotional, like seeing her in 3D on the screen. It really like hit me right in the heart, you know, because she really tries super hard. I got really happy to see her fly, because she deserves to fly. She's just really amazing and works super hard.
On the contrary of public's opinion, I find that she has defended her genmates over and over again, even sometimes over her own financial gains. For example, she immediately removed music from her opening stream animation.
Oh yeah, this clown right here. Like, what a stupid thing to say.
when it was created by an artist who went after the Fuamoku twins. And as far as it goes for Callie's music, I feel like whenever people complain about someone else's content, they've probably never put the time and effort to put themselves out there. You can dislike someone's content, after all,
like shit talk Fuamoku, and then while boasting that, hey, I did the music for Callie's little Magic Girl sequence, fucking literally within hours before Callie's next stream, Callie instantly removed that and swapped it out.
Is subjective. On top of that, it's probably not catered uniquely to you, but I don't see why you gotta go as far as voicing your discontent online, or worse yet, harass somebody for it. So if you're like me and have never wrote a lyric in your life and you feel the unnerving urge to criticize someone else's music, just don't. The world will live to see another day without your unwarranted opinion. As for the auntie's opinion, did it matter in the end? No. By letting her hard work and dedication speak for itself, Mori Calliope ended up gaining a lot of respect and recognition from other VTubers and industry artists alike, who praised her for her talent, personality, and professionalism.
Being professional is very good. You want to be professional. I mean, now, now they're like, what the fuck, probably. I was real professional in the beginning. And now I'm like, I'm still growing and still learning. And I'm doing my best to, improve day by day. I know I can be a better me, but also have fun at the same time.
As for her relationship with her fan base, the Deadbeats, she seemingly managed to maintain a strong connection and trust with them, who keep on supporting her through thick and thin. And I think that's commendable, because a lot of creators would have easily lost trust in their fan base if they felt like they could turn on them on a whim, and we've seen that with many public figures lately.
Deadbeats everywhere. I'm not alone because you guys are here. That's always how it's been. Thank you so kindly. Really, truly.
In the end, I am very
go,
glad Mori
Deadbeats.
seems determined to push through the negativity and focus on what makes her happy. She seems adequately equipped to handle the backlash, or maybe she's just too busy to have the time to get into her own head. Also, I say adequately, but keep in mind that the human brain is simply not equipped to deal with rejection and negativity on such a large scale. But for whatever it's worth, Mori seems to be handling it well, or at least as well as someone can. In an article from the Xerto, she mentions that she's okay and that she is mostly worried about those close to her who might get affected by the toxicity, as well as her fans. Ultimately, this Grim Reaper had her own inner demons to fight, and those obstacles did not stop her from pursuing her dreams. After all, she is truly a VTuber who has made a lasting impact on the industry and culture, and it's very hard to imagine what the scene would look like today without Mori Calliope. Anyway, that's all I have
think it would
for
be
you guys
far-
today.
it would be
I've read way too much brain rot comments and threads, and I need a
I don't think
break.
it would
But
be
if
as
you guys
entertaining.
enjoyed
I think it
this
would still.
video and would like to see
I think it
more
would still be entertaining, but I don't think it would be as.
content like this, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. And if you're interested in delving even deeper into the world of VTubers, I recently uploaded a comprehensive deep dive on Rushia Uruha that I think you'll find fascinating. And if you're a dedicated fan and would like to support this channel even further, consider becoming a member. By doing so, you'll gain access to our exclusive member perks and even have a chance to be featured at the end of my next video. And thank you so much for our brand new channel members, Barbara Ricketts and Sir Cavalcante. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next one. Along with the Anime Man and Giju. What the how do I pronounce this?
Her
To
outtakes.
which she later to which
I feel that. Excellent video. Again, it's kind of a crime that you're only at 50k. Yeah, that's gonna do it for this video though. I'm sure I made a lot of people mad with my comments, and honestly, I do not care. 'Cause evil. Haha. Anyway, if y'all enjoyed this video, hit like and subscribe. And I will catch y'all in the next one. Also, video, original video again. Bottom of in the description. Blah, I can't talk. Anyway, I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.